Hello everyone, I'm Jen Longmire. Today we're going to talk about Google Classroom. Google Classroom is Enumclaw School District's learning management system for our earliest learners up through our seniors in high school. It's a great place to organize assignments, share resources, or put in quick links to apps for students to access. In this video, I'll cover 10 tips and tricks to think about when using Google Classroom. Are you ready? Let's get started.
Many of you have asked to see what does Google Classroom look like from the student side. So I have joined my Google Classroom on my personal account. So it's a little confusing because it's Jen and Jen's test class, but that's all right. I'm on my personal account. First thing to notice is on the stream page, they have an upcoming and I can view all. Now right now it says I have nothing due soon, but if I click on view all, I can see something that's assigned to me that does not have a due date. And then if I look, there's nothing this week, but next week I see a 1 and I can click on this and see that by next Friday I have this due. I can also click across the top to see what's missing. I can see what's done. When I go back into my Google Classroom, I can go to classwork. I can view my work right here, so it'll bring up the things that I have. But if I want to open something up, let's look at October 26th learning. I'm going to, instead of opening the actual attachment here, I want to view this assignment. So under here as a student, this brings up options for me to add something to my assignment. And as soon as a student adds something right here, you instantly have access to it. They don't need to share it. They don't need to turn it in. When you look on your teacher side of things, you will see that they have something attached to their work here. They can mark it as done. They also have a place where they can put in a private comment to you or a comment to the class. Parents or guardians in your classroom don't actually have access into your classroom. So what they get is a weekly summary. And so you will have to invite them as a guardian and they will have to accept the invitation, and then they set up how often they want to receive this email summary. But here's an example of what that email summary might look like. It'll show the student work missing from the last week, due in the next week, and then class activities for each of their classes. Once a parent signs up for one Google Classroom that their child is in, it automatically gives them an email summary for all of the Google Classrooms that their child is in. But they don't actually have access to go in and look at the student assignments or see the grading or any of the comments. Notification overload is a real thing, so make sure you've managed your Google Classroom and only get the notifications that you want. Go up to your classes, come down to settings, and then here's notifications. If you have this turned off, this is all you're going to see. But turn this back on, now you can see comments. So later on when we talk about comments, if these are turned off, you won't get notified. So if you want notifications on comments, go here. Classes you're enrolled in. So this is good tips to give our students. If they have these turned on, they will get these notifications. For you as a teacher, classes that you teach, with these turned on, you'll get notifications of these things. So make sure you manage those notifications, and you can manage them by class. So if you're in multiple classes, you can tell it which classes you want these settings to affect. It's really important to keep our Google Classrooms organized. There's nothing more overwhelming to a student than to look at a Google Classroom that's got 17,000 things and nothing is in an order. So use topics to help you organize. You can move topics by grabbing and dragging, so I can rearrange the order of my topics. Or I can take an assignment. So in my topics, I have this week's learning pathway. Well, this one's an old one. I can take this one, drag it, and I can move it to a new topic, and it automatically now is under a different topic. Things stay neat and organized. Students can easily find things. To make your Google Classroom visually appealing or to help students navigate and find things more easily, you can use emoji icons to highlight and bring students' eye to a certain area. I really like to use Joy Pixels, so let's create a new topic. And I'm going to call this one Celebrations. Now I have the celebrations topic here, and it's nothing catches my eye. I'm going to go ahead and rename it so it brings it up here, and I'm going to open up my Joy Pixels. And I'm going to type in here. As soon as I click it, it's here, but it's also copied to my clipboard down here. So if I put my cursor in front and I Control V, now I also have that same image in front. Click Rename, and you have images to help draw your student's eye to particular assignments and tasks. To reduce the sheer number of individual assignments that students see within their Google Classroom, think about grouping like things together. So for example, on this one, Life Cycle of a Frog, when I open it, I have 4 attachments underneath here. So think about how you could group maybe reading assignments or math assignments so that like items are all under one assignment. And then when a student sees it, even though you've got 4 things in there, it just shows as one thing in the Google Classroom. Let's look at leaving private comments and class comments, both from a teacher view and from the student view. So right now I am in my classroom as teacher view. I know this because I have a grades option up here for teacher view. And if I look at my week's work, I do see that I have a little comment box here. If I click on this assignment, I can see I have 1 class comment. I can click on it. Oh, and I see it's from Jennifer. How do I type in the graphic organizer? Just type. Let's just leave that as a comment. I'm going to send that back. Now, if I wanted to see if I had any private comments from a student, I would open up the student work and take a scan down the left-hand side. If someone has left you a private comment, you'll see it right underneath their name. So I can click on Jennifer and I can see 1 private comment. How do I turn this in? And we can say click the turn in button and send it off. Now you're also going to see that there's this little Mote recording. If you want to do voice comments, you can click on that and you can add a voice comment in instead of typing. Please note, if you want to use the Mote for leaving a voice comment, you do need to load this extension from the web store. The other way as a teacher that I can see private comments from students is I see here Jennifer actually has a comment. I'm going to click on her work. When it pulls it up on the right-hand side, it's going to pull up the comment history. So I can see over here what she asked. I can see my response. I can add another private comment over here. So just another way to look to see where comments are. Now, let's go take a peek at what this looks like from the student side. So now I am in as a student. This is, let's go back so you can see from here. This is on my personal account again. So here I am as a student. When I look at this week's work, again, I can see a comment here. It says I have 2. Open it up. There's 2 class comments. Oh, Jennifer asked, how do I type in the graphic organizer? The teacher said, just type. That was helpful. I can also view my assignment. Here's the private comments. So I can see what I sent to the teacher and I can see what the teacher sent back to me. Let's take a look at how students can turn in work, and then as a teacher, how you can comment on that and return it to students. So we are in the student view right now. As a student, I would open this up and I would view assignment. I could add something else to the assignment, but here's my turn in button. I'm going to click turn in. It will ask me again if I'm sure that's what I want to submit, and I go ahead and say turn in. From the teacher view then, I am going to go back to that assignment. I'm going to open it. I'm going to view the assignment. And I'm going to look and I see I have 1 turned in. Jennifer turned it in. I can also see over here on the left-hand side because now it's ready for a grade. I'm going to open Jennifer's work. On the right-hand side are those private comments that you've already had, but this time I want to add a comment directly to her work that she did. So right here, you're going to see another little comment button. When you click on that one, you have to highlight what it is you're going to be talking about. And now you can start to add comments here. But here's a really great, easy way to do things. You have a comment bank. So that's what this little icon is here. I have 2 comments already in my comment bank. I could add comments. I could copy and paste from another document if I had comments written out. But I would just put them here. If I want to add more than 1 comment at a time, just hit return and then click add. Now those new comments show up over here. I can either come over here in my comment bank and click copy to clipboard and then paste in here and comment, or I can highlight a new fact. I can start typing my comment, and as soon as it recognizes that I have started typing something that I usually do, it'll say, did you want to use this comment? And now it's quick and easy to add a comment back. Now, students will not see any of these comments until you return their work. You may also, by clicking back on this top one, this is your grading function. You'll see your grades here. I can see that Jennifer did an amazing job on this. I'm going to give her 100 points. Now she won't see any of these comments that I added to the document. Now, the private comments she can see already, but anything that I did directly to her work and the comments that I created there, she does not see until I return her work. I'm going to click return, say return, and now my student can see the comments that I made on her work. That document now belongs back to the student and not with me. Google Classroom actually has its own grade book. So this one tip about grades is actually going to be full of a bunch of different things that you can learn about grades. So from the teacher view, I'm going to click on grades. This brings up a grade book. Instantly you can see I've graded already because I showed you how to do that earlier in an assignment. Jennifer's got a grade here, but there are no other grades showing. So I can go in, from here, I can add a grade. If you want to toggle easily, now granted I have 2 students in here, you'll have a lot more students and a lot more assignments. It's a lot easier to toggle through using the arrow keys on your keyboard than trying to use your mouse and scrolling. Just a quick tip. Also with grades, you can, when you click on them, from here you can see I've already returned this assignment, or I can go back in and view this assignment. Here on Steve, where I gave him a 0, I can now return his assignment, I can view his submission, or if I have a bunch that I haven't returned, if I click up here on the assignment itself, I can return all of the assignments at one time. If I click on the gear setting right here, it's going to bring me up class settings. So if I scroll down to the bottom, there is a grading section where you can play around with grade calculations and adding categories and doing some different things down here. But if I want to be able to print off my grade book, this is a little bit wonky. You're going to go back to classwork, open any assignment, it doesn't matter which one. Go ahead and view it. And now you see this gear up in the top right. It'll say copy all grades to Google Sheets. I can copy all grades to Google Sheets. This will copy all assignments, not just this one assignment. It'll copy all assignments for all students to your Google Sheets. Here's what it will look like in Google Sheets, and now you have a nice, easy format to be able to sort, print, and do whatever you need to do, keeping your grades nice and organized. You can quickly and easily email students and or their guardians summaries of what they've been doing in Google Classroom. Go to People, choose the student you're interested in, come up here to Email, and if you have guardians that are on that student's account, when you click on the 2, you'll have a choice of students, guardians, or students and guardians. Type a message. Be sure to click Include Student Work Summary, and when you click Send, it'll email the student or the guardians a summary of the work that the student's been doing in Google Classroom.
Well, you made it to the end of Google Classroom's tips and tricks video. Hopefully you were able to pick up a new tip or trick that you can use, or maybe you have a tip that I didn't cover, or a better way of doing one of the tips or tricks I did share. Please share those with me. Thanks for watching. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you.